Hey G-Shock fans, today I'd like to go over three square Gs with you, the DW-5600E, the GW-M5610, and the GW-5000. The first one I will show you today is the DW-5600E. Now this is by far the cheapest of the three. It's about $40 and it's widely available at Walmart or your local mall watch kiosk. What's different about this versus the other two is it doesn't have as many features. It doesn't have solar charging or atomic syncing. It has one alarm instead of 5, and it's not built as well, especially compared to the top one, which I'll go over later. But the band is a little bit cheaper, kind of plasticky feeling. It's already got a pretty good divot in it just from the way it was packaged. It's made in China, but at the same time it's comfortable. I wore it all day yesterday and it holds well to my wrist. It doesn't flop around. It's relatively lightweight and it's a good classic design that's symmetrical. It has a symmetrical design to it with the Casio up top, which I honestly kind of prefer to this design, which is a little bit more cluttered. And this, you know right away it's the Casio. So I would say this is a good one to wear just daily, kind of as a beater watch, because as we'll get to, you're not going to want to wear the fanciest one all the time. Alright, now this is the GW-M5610. This is a step up from the DW-5600E. It's available for about $90. Right away you notice the band is a higher quality resin. I've had this now for about 2 months and it doesn't really show any signs of use. Another nice thing is this module gives you higher contrast digits, gets you this nice dot matrix display up here, which is handy when you're going through your different world time zones. And this does have 5 alarms, stopwatch, timer. The timer and the stopwatch do not show the current time up here the way the cheaper DW-5600 does. As you can see, I'm in the timer mode showing 12:21, stopwatch 12:21. This isn't going to do that for you. But what's nice about solar and atomic is it takes a lot of the kind of long-term maintenance out of your watch. You don't have to worry about setting it whenever there's daylight savings time. You always know it's exactly in sync with atomic time, with your phone, with your computer. And that solar charging means that you can use that backlight as much as you want with a watch that has a non-rechargeable battery like the cheap one here, the 5600. Depending on how much you use that backlight, that battery could last 1.5 years or it could last 10 years. You just never know. But if you have a solar charging watch like this guy here, you can pretty much use it as much as you want, and as long as you wear it outside a reasonable amount of time, it'll charge itself right back up. So then there's this bad boy. This is the GW-5000, and looking this up you might think, how on earth could this cost $300? Well, simply put, this is why. This is the only square G model to have a DLC coated stainless steel case all the way out to the lugs, all the way inside around the crystal beyond the resin. And this is the way they were built back in the 80s in Japan, and this is also the only G-Shock here that's made in Japan. This one's made in China, this one's made in Thailand. So right away you notice the build quality on this watch is much better than the other two. It's heavier, the resin is even softer and even higher quality, and it just kind of, on your wrist, you feel it. It feels like it has some presence. And it feels, you know, kind of like a stainless steel dress watch would because of that extra weight, except it's more comfortable because of this super soft resin on it. And compared to the 5610, the buttons are actually a little bit stiffer. I read that Casio put stiffer springs in this one, and you can definitely tell. But the module functionally is the same as the GW-M5610, so you're not getting any additional functionality. But, so you're probably asking yourself, well, which one's right for me? Personally, what I would recommend is starting off with this cheap one here. I got this on sale actually for $35. That's about as low as it goes. And even though I already had these other two, I thought, well, I'll just try it out. I might end up just giving it away to somebody as a present, whatever. But it's actually been a pleasant surprise. It's comfortable, and I don't really worry about banging it up because it was so cheap. Whereas even the 5610 I'm kind of careful with. Oh, by the way, I also have this model here, which has tide graph and moon phase in addition to some tide zones. This is the GW-5600E. So if you're a surfer, that might be one to consider, but it's over $100. I got it used for $50, but I'd have a hard time spending more than $100 on this design, considering it doesn't have a screw back. It's just a plastic case like these two cheaper ones. So anyways, I would say start with the cheap one and decide, well, is it the right size? Do you like the shape of it? Do you like the feel of it? And if you do, then you can kind of consider between these two. This is if you're just in love with it and you want something that holds its value, and you know, down the road, if you look at the way these screwback G's hold their value on eBay, that's kind of what pushed me over the edge into buying one. Thought, well, if I ever want to sell it one day, it won't be hard, so I might as well get something that I can enjoy. So I did that. And yeah, I mean, if you want one that just has a little bit of extra functionality, but you don't want to break the bank, I'd recommend the GW-M5610. So that's kind of where I am. These are considered the original G-Shock, and what's nice about them is they're not huge like a lot of the current ones, all bulky and plasticky. These are about as small as they can be while retaining the essence of what a G-Shock is, about being shock resistant, about being durable. So it's a real classic, and I think it's kind of a look that's coming back these days. Last couple of years, if you look on Amazon, they're selling a ton of them. So yeah, hopefully this video helped in kind of narrowing down which one of these you'd like to get. Maybe you want to get all three or all four, but totally up to you. Just thought I'd help you out. Alright, thanks for watching.